This build was done in collaboration with Domino Model Belgium and also Aoshima, who sent me out the kit and some supplies to use on this build specifically. So I'm going to unbox this kit first and then go over the build in a little more detail. If you want to know even more and go in more depth on this specific build, I have multiple episodes on it on my channel, so feel free to check those out. I will also be leaving links down in the description below for a lot of the products that I use along the build. The body itself is pretty nice and clean and doesn't need a lot of touch-up or rescribing of the panel lines, but it does need removal of some of these mold lines. These are, of course, they are from the molding process and aren't supposed to be there on the actual car, so these need to be removed. I first mark them off with a permanent black marker to give me a guide where they are, then sand them off with a sanding stick. Once that is completed, I move on to sanding the entire body down with a 600 grit sanding sponge, clean it off a little bit, put it onto a Tamiya spray stand, and then move it into the spray booth for some primer. So Domino Model sent me out a couple of paints from Mission Model. This is a water-based, or better, acrylic paint that is specifically designed for scale models. They sent me out a couple of their primers, some thinners, and some additives for the paints themselves. You do need to mix them up yourself according to the instructions. Some need a bit more thinner, some a bit less, but that is all up to personal preference and also the airbrush you use, so just test it out a little bit. The body was first primed with a white primer to get a nice base down, as I wanted to see how that one worked too. And then once that was cured, I moved on to a pink primer. Again, I wanted to test that one as well, and this one matches really closely with the actual color that I'm going to be painting the car. A couple coats of primer have been applied. I did give it a couple of hours to cure. You could also leave it overnight before you move on, but again, that has to do with a lot of the settings around you, the room temperature, and all things like that. So that has to be figured out a little bit yourself, but it is always safe to leave it overnight. But in this case, I think about 30 minutes to an hour is good enough before you can move on to the next stage, and that in this case is adding the color. A couple coats of color have been applied and the coverage is now where I want it to be, so I can move on to the clear coat. I'm going to be using a 2K clear from Streetblisters, as it is nice, glossy, and also super rigid. They did also send me out some clear coat from Mission Models, but that is a 1K acrylic clear that isn't really that strong and doesn't really produce that nice of a gloss finish as I am after, so I just skipped that and used my trusty clear that I always like to use. The clear coat is now applied, so the body is set aside for a couple of days to cure, and in the meantime I'm moving on to the interior. The backs of the seats needed to be attached to the seat themselves, and then also I needed to fill up a gap in the headrest, so I used some light curing putty, sanded that smooth, and then moved it all again into the spray booth for some primer. So the exterior already has a really nice and flashy color, so I didn't really want to go overboard with the interior and decided just to go for a black. As a base color for the black, I'm just using a black primer. The black itself does dry a little bit of a semi-gloss finish, and that wasn't really what I was looking for to replicate a leather interior, so I toned it down a bit with some flat clear coat. Once all of the main parts were painted, I could start adding a bit of detail and contrast with a small brush and some other various colors all around. To add a bit more detail and life to the actual interior tub itself, I always like to add a little bit of flocking to simulate the carpet material, and to try and glue it down this time I'm using some of their flat clear. Just apply it really wet, and once it is still really wet, put the flocking on top of it to let it attach itself together while the paint is drying. For some additional detail on the dashboard and some of the other interior pieces, I added a little bit of silver on a couple of the buttons and also on some of the door handles. So the exterior has a nice body kit and also a wide body put on it and a super flashy color, so I'm getting some drifting vibes, and I wanted to continue that theme a little bit on the interior, not go overboard, but just add a couple of these details in here, like the katana as a shift knob and also a nice racing steering wheel. With a couple of decals applied, I could move on after painting all of the details on to finishing the interior up by assembling it all. For the chassis, I also kept it nice and simple. I did add a couple of contrasting details to the brake calipers to match with the steering wheel, and also contrast nicely to the pink exterior. The main parts were painted black, some in textured black, and I added some details here and there with some silver paints and also a couple of washes just to make it a little dirtier, and could then move on to assembling it all. So the application of the clear coat did not go down perfectly. There was a little bit of texture in the clear coat, and there was also a couple of dust and dirt that landed in there, so those needed to be removed. For this first stage of removing the dirt, I'm using a special sanding stick formula from Scale Motorsport, and then after that I'm going over the entire body with a 3000 grit sanding pad on a rotary tool, or in this case to be put into a drill, and then go over the entire thing, sand it all smooth, and then start polishing it back up with various grades of polishing compounds and polishing pads. With most of the dirt now out and the orange peel removed, I could move on to the next stage, and that is masking up the exterior to paint all the rubber trim around it. The tail and headlight buckets are molded into the body itself, so those needed a bit of work to get them to a nice reflective finish, and in this case for the taillights I'm using some mirror foil from Hasegawa. The taillight lenses also needed to be painted, so I masked them up in order to give them a custom look with a top half in clear red and the bottom half in just clear as it already is. Applied a couple of layers of clear red, could then take off the masking and start installing all of these clear parts after adding a bit more detail with a permanent black marker around the edges. So all of the main clear parts are fully clear, and I didn't really want to do that. I wanted to tint the rear half. So I first masked it all off, painted the black edge, removed the masking on the rear section in order to tint those with a couple light coats of Tamiya clear smoke. The panel lines on the exterior were nice and deep, but after painting it pink they were still pretty bright and pink. So I wanted to tone them down, add a little bit of shade and depth to them by adding some Panelline accent color. And once that was completely dry, I could move on to assembling a lot of the parts in there. Needed to still glue the rear view mirror and wiper on, also drill a small hole for the side mirrors to be put in later, and could then move on to finishing the chassis and interior off by putting those together and installing that all into the main body. Also, the wheels could be pressed in place after adding the tires, and then a couple of final details were added on the chassis itself, a couple of decals, and this build is wrapped up.